Welcome back to Bulgaria and welcome back to Bdin Vidin in our Football Manager 24 Build a Nation save. At the end of last season we completed Phase 4 and qualified for Europe, and we now move into Phase 5, which is to try and win the title. Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our Build the Nation save here in Bulgaria as the manager of Bdin Vidin. We're approximately 2/3 of the way through the preliminary phase in Bulgaria. We've also had our European campaign this season. Obviously there's a couple of things for us to catch up on since the last time you were here. Me personally as well, it's actually been a little while since I've recorded. I decided to take Christmas and the New Year off, so I've got some catching up to do as well with how things are going, because like I say, I've probably had about 3 weeks away from Football Manager and I'm not entirely sure where we're at ourselves. So without any further ado, let's get into things. And I think we're going to start off with how things are going for us financially. So here we are, looking at the finances then. You can see that the club is in the best position it has possibly ever been in, other than the start of the season really. Obviously it's gone down a little bit over the season. We have been bringing a lot in, where you can see already we're up to £940,000 in this season. We only brought in just over £1 million for the entirety of last season, so we're doing much better. And obviously European competition, the Europa League, is helping out with that massively. Now we're becoming a better club as well. We're seeing higher attendances, so gate receipts are higher, and this is something that will just continue to grow as we get better. So we've seen there financially that we're doing very well. We do have some league games to catch up on, which we'll go through now. In our first game following that massive 6-0 win away to Besiktas, it was back down to earth with a bump for Bdin and a 4-1 thumping at home by Levski Sofia. Jesnan Burakovic with the only goal of the game for Bdin on the hour mark. It was a poor performance really. We were just quite poor defensively. You can see Anastasopoulos has had a 6.3. Abraham Marcus with a 6.3. Adebiyega, I've bigged him up all season. Again, a 6.4. Tiredness setting in a little bit. The extra games that we're playing in Europe is sort of affecting us, and it's a little bit of a concern, and it's a very disappointing defeat to Levski Sofia. So as we've seen there, we were 3-0 down in this game before we got our only goal. It was Sirikos on the right hand side, fed the ball over to Burakovic, and it's a good finish. However, we did bounce back in the next game with a fantastic away victory to Ludogorets Razgrad, the defending champions. Paulo Bernardo with the only goal of the game in the 46th minute. Seko Fofana did miss a penalty 81st minute. You can see that Ludogorets were the better team. Patrick Gunnarsson with an 8.9 in goal, which shows you how much pressure we were under, but we defended really well, and it's a fantastic victory for Bdin. So the only goal of the game came courtesy of Paulo Bernardo. Picks it up in the centre of the park, feeds it to Hamash, who pulls it back across for Paulo Bernardo for the finish. We followed that excellent result against Ludogorets up with another fantastic win, this time at home to Lokomotiv Plovdiv. Fantastic 3-0 win. Simon Buabe got us underway in the 3rd minute. Paulo Bernardo in the first half, and then Klimis Sirikos wrapped it up towards the end of the game. Buabe got us underway really early on in this one. Kuzmanov bringing the ball forward down the right hand side. Great ball inside to the Frenchman and a good finish. We added the second on 35. Kuzmanov with the corner towards that penalty area. Hamash keeps it alive, finds Sirikos, pulls it across for Paulo Bernardo. We completed the game late in the game. Diogo Silva in the penalty area feeds it back to the Greek Sirikos, and a good finish. We made it 3 wins in a row, this time at the expense of Baro Stara Zagora, and a rather fortunate win. Baro were the better team in this one, and they also missed a penalty in first half stoppage time, but Buabe and Gallego got the goals for us to ensure that we did get the victory. But the fact that we've conceded 24 shots against Baro is a little bit concerning. And again, Gunnarsson's picked up the man of the match performance with an 8.2 rating there. So Buabe got himself on the score sheet again. Burakovic bring the ball down the left, feeds Marcus, good first time ball, and it's a deflected finish from Buabe. Baro did get one back though before Carlos Gallego did get the winning goal. Henning feeding Gallego on the edge of the area, and a nice calm side foot finish. And then we made it 4 in a row, this time away to Hibar Ilyan Kuzmanov, who is he's one of the young players at the club, and he doesn't really play too much football, but the fact that we've played so much football, I alluded to it a little bit earlier, we're a little bit tired, so we've had to rotate the squad just a little bit. You can see we've got Velichkov in goal, we've got players like Obviously, Kuzmanov coming in as well, who did actually pick up the man of the match, and he got the goal to make it 4 wins in a row for Bdin. So the only goal of the game came in injury time at the end of the first half. It was a nice flowing move, and Kuzmanov finished it off. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it 5, and we were beaten in the next game. We were at home as well to Septembri Sofia, who they're not a good team. Septembri for Sofia. I think they've been relegated throughout the course of this save and come back up, and they came to our place and they battered us. Well, I say battered. They played much better than we did, and we actually deserved to lose the game. To be fair, it's disappointing though, really, obviously, to end that little streak that we've got. But, you know, we'll bounce back. And bounce back we did in the very next league game, this time at home to Lokomotiv Sofia. Adabiega and Syrikos with the goals. Fantastic performance, 20 shots, 9 on target, massive XG, clear-cut chances, and a great victory. Syrikos picking up with the man of the match. Good flowing move. Adabiego feeds it out to the right-hand side, and Syrikos drives into the penalty area, pulls it across for the Nigerian to sweep the finish past the goalkeeper. And we made it to not long after. Gallego this time well challenged, but Nightbogo keeps it live. Buabi feeds it to Syrikos. Good touch and a good finish. Next time out was away to Itar, and a nice 3-1 win in this one. Game, in terms of match stats, a little bit closer than you possibly would have liked, but we did well to get the victory, and it was Syrikos who bagged himself a hat-trick in this one from that right-hand side of midfield. The front three played very, very well in this one, but Syrikos got all of the goals. Into the highlights then against Itar. Adabiego bring the ball a long way forward, checks back, finds Syrikos. It's a great first-time finish. Itar did get one back, but just 2 minutes later, Syrikos completed a hat-trick again. Adabiego, with some good work, loses the ball, but gets it back and pulls it back for Syrikos. And finally, the last game in this little sequence, at home to CSKA Sofia. Still a very, very good team. Carlos Gallego and Emmanuel Adabiega rescued us late on in this one, so a little bit of a change to some of the previous games where we do concede late goals. Obviously, look how tired the players are. We do play quite a pressing formation, and it does sort of wear us out at the end of games, and it gives other teams the opportunity, but not this time. This time it was us after Brian Moreno and Cristo Romero put CSKA Sofia 2-0 up with 55 minutes gone. But then, like I say, Gallego and Adabiega rescued a point for us. So the fight back began on 75. Nightbogo with the free kick towards the back post, and good header from Gallego. And then just 5 minutes later, Zabala fed Paulo Bernardo into Hamash. Hamash switches it to the left, and Syrikos is a poor header from Romero, and Adabiego capitalises. So now that you're all caught up on where we are in terms of how we've been doing, you can see from the league table that we're in a very, very healthy position. It's very much a 3-horse race here between Ludogorets, Levski Sofia and ourselves. The next team back, CSK 1948, some 13 points behind us. Very, very much a 3-horse race. In terms of how goal scoring's gone, Adabiega has sort of calmed down a little bit after his first couple of games at the club, and you can actually see that Syrikos is the 3rd highest scorer in the league. Syrikos is having a hell of a season, by the way, the young Greek. Our first proper prospect that we had at Bdin, and he's doing really, really well. He's developing well, and he's getting his goals and assists, which is what he needs to be doing, really. So league-wise, it's going really, really well. Unfortunately, it's not been so great in the Europa League. We've now played 4 of our league games, 4 of 8. And you can see that we've not managed to pick up a win yet. We've picked up 2 draws, away to Rapid Bucharesti and away to Maccabi Haifa. Only lost 1-0 at home to Man United, which was a very, very respectable performance. But then a 2-1 away defeat to Slavia Prague was a little bit disappointing. We do have today's live com, which is going to be against Sepsi OSK, which we're going to go over in a minute. But if we have a quick look at the Europa League phase itself, you can see that we're currently down in 28th place with 2 points. We're only 2 points behind St Gallen in 24th, which would be qualification for the next stage, which is obviously our aim, really. You can see Levski Sofia up there in 8th place. They're doing really well, obviously, and that's going to help out in terms of coefficients. Unfortunately, we're not doing too much for that as things stand, but hopefully that is going to improve. But Sepsi are currently below us. They're in 33rd place with just the 1 point, so it is a real opportunity for us to pick up our first win in the Europa League proper. Right then, guys, moving into today's game. We are at home to Sepsi OSK, and this is the lineup that we're going to go with. Patrick Sigurd Gunnarsson, continues in goal. He's had a very, very good season. 14 conceded in 12 appearances in the league. 4 clean sheets. 6 in 6 in the Europa League. It's pretty standard for a goalkeeper. He is consistent. He's a good FBet League player. He's done really well for us in the time that he's spent here so far. And I'm pleased to keep playing him, really. He's also been called back up for the Iceland squad, which is a bonus for him. Right back for today is Carlos Gallego. We have Weatherton, who's actually just come back from an injury, he's unfortunately not match fit, but Gallego has done very well in the games that he has played, 6.97 in the league, and you can see there from his form in the last 10 matches, there's more green bars than there is yellow ones, so I'm quite happy to let him have a run out at right back today. Centre halves for today, the first one we have Anastasopoulos, the Greek 25-year-old. He's again has had a great season, a 7.2 in the Europa League, which is good, a 6.8 in the league as well. Again, performing really, really well. Obviously, one of the reasons why we're doing so well in the league. Alongside him, we have Diogo Silva, the 23-year-old Brazilian. He's done okay. He's done great in the league. He's done really well in the league. He's suffered a little bit in the Europa League. Obviously, one of his cons over there is he doesn't enjoy big matches. And for a team the size of Bdin, pretty much all of the European League games are big matches for him, unfortunately. But without the appropriate replacement for him in the squad, unfortunately, Diogo Silva is going to have to continue for now. And on the left side of the defence is the Argentine Facundo Zabala. Again, had a good season, a 6.8 in the league with only one assist in Europe as well. Obviously, one of our newer players. He's still settling into the squad, but he's a good player for the club that we are. Defensive midfield is Christopher Naitaboko, the on-loan man from Monaco. Again, had a good season. He's done well in the Europa League, a 6.95 in the FBet League as well. Good player. The two centre midfields for today, we have Simon Bouabe, again on loan from Monaco. He's had a great season in FBet League, a 7.05 rating with 2 goals and 5 assists. Needs to step up a little bit in terms of European competition, but again, he's a really good player for a club like Bdin. Paulo Bernardo, alongside him, the former Celtic and Benfica man, again has had a good season, a 6.98 in the league with a 6.9 in Europe. A very, very good player, the Portuguese. On the right-hand side, we have Klimis Sirikos, our oldest prospect, not in terms of age, but he's pretty much our first prospect that we had at the club who's had any real value, shall we say, to both financially and to the squad. He's done very, very well. He's the top scorer in the league for Bdin with 12 goals and 7 assists. He has played some games up front, but he's mostly played on the right-hand side for us this season with Adabiega coming in. But yeah, he's done really, really well, and he is still developing, as you can see. Still only 20 years old. Left-hand side, we have the Algerian Ilyas Hamash. Again, has had a great season, a 7.16 in the league. Another one who's not really performed in the Europa League, but again, he's got that big matches con in his traits, which is probably what's letting him down in the Europa League. One thing that I'm possibly going to have to do between this episode and the next one is we've got the winter transfer window coming up. I'm possibly going to have a look and see if there's anybody who I can bring in to help improve us for the second half of the season. And then up top, we have the star man, Emmanuel Adabiega. He's absolutely fire. 11 goals, 2 assists in his 10 appearances, a 7.69 rating, 7.52 in the Europa League as well. He's absolutely fantastic. Still only 19 years old. He's still got loads and loads and loads, hopefully, of potential that he's going to fill up and just become an absolute beast of a player who we'll probably struggle to hold on to. So then, guys, there we go. That is the lineup that we're hopefully going to pick up our first win in Europe proper with at home to Sepsi. So then, as we get the game underway, massive game in the history of Bdin. And it's Gallego with the ball, finding Bouabe. We're on the front foot straight away in this game. Bouabe goes out wide to the right with the ball. Comes back to Gallego. It's cut out though, but Bouabe does pick it up again. Finds it Naitaboko. Back to Diogo Silva, looking to switch the play to the left. It's now Zabala. Forward towards Adabiego. This is the chance, and it's a great save by the goalkeeper to deny the Nigerian what would be the opening goal of this game. Hamash comes across to take the resulting corner. Can he pick out Naitaboko at that near post? He can, but he can't keep his head down. Approaching half hour now, and it's Sepsi coming forward. They feed the ball down the right-hand side. It's Georgie. Can he pull the ball across? He's hit the outside the post with the cross. And they've managed to retain possession. Now they're looking to work something. It's Akwasi to Timar. Timar feeds it out to loads of space for Stefanescu. He's in absolute acres of space, and they've worked the ball into the box. They've hit the post again. They've hit the woodwork twice in the space of about a minute. And Hamash gets the ball clear, looking for Paolo Bernardo, but Sepsi win it back. Feed the ball into the front line, and Damascan fights Stefanescu again. He's in acres of space again. Pulls it back to Timar, shot blocked, and Sirikos this time looks to get it clear, but it's just coming straight back, and they get the header in, and Gunnarsson claims that one quite comfortably in the end, who rolls it straight out to Diogo Silva. Something's still going to happen in this highlight, guys. Diogo Silva finds Zabala on the left-hand side. No, nothing's going to happen. It just made us wait for a little bit. We were a little bit lucky there. Sepsi were... They pushed us quite hard in that little highlight there. But as we approach half-time, we have been on top. It would be nice to be ahead. As you can see by the league table on the right-hand side, we're dropping down a little bit into 30th position. And at half-time, it's actually fairly even. It's a very, very even game. And we were expected to draw this game. But it would be great to go and get that win in the second half. And into that second half, it's Zabala finding Paolo Bernardi. Hamash tackled. Paolo Bernardo again. Gets it across to Gallego. Into Sirikos. Comes back to Naitoboko. Gallego needs to go wide of him here. That's one of the things we're playing inverted fullbacks. To come very, very narrow. But Diogo Silva finds Anastopoulos. I knew I'd get his name wrong eventually. Feeds it out to the left and Hamash again. Nice slow patient build up from Bdin here. Looking to probe that opening. Diogo Silva finds Hamash again. Looks to accelerate away from his man. His man goes with him though. Does really well. Does get the cross in the end though to Sirikos. Headed clear. Gallego. It's just wide of the post from the Portuguese. But that's much, much better play from Bdin point of view. And we're still coming here with Buabe. It's a shocking free kick. Absolutely shocking free kick. And now Sepsi are going to counter here. And they're probably going to score with Damascan. Comes inside. And that's a great effort from range. And Gunnarsson was a little bit worried by that one. I don't know what the free kick from Buabe was supposed to be. It was absolutely appalling. And now, with an hour gone, it's Gallego finding Sirikos. Gallego again to Naitoboko. Into Zabala. Again, the left full-back coming inside to receive the ball. Hamash driving towards it. It's a deep cross towards Sirikos. Gets his head. We've hit the top of the crossbar with a header from Sirikos. Poor cross from Hamash, though. Really should be looking to put that into the 6-yard box, but he's overhit it massively. And it's still a very, very close game here in Bdin. Both teams have had opportunities. They've hit the woodwork yet again, and we've struggled to get that ball away. But both teams are sort of living very, very dangerously here in terms of the chances that we're giving up. Right, just made a quick triple change there, guys. A couple of poor performances. Gallego, Naitoboko and Hamash weren't really doing it for me. Paolo Bernardo's also playing really, really poorly. But we've brought Weatherton on, Bettini on and Abraham Marcos. And hopefully with 15 minutes remaining in this game, we can go on and get the winner. And this could be that opportunity. Georgie gives the ball to Zabala. Now Marcos, newly onto the pitch. Can he use some of his pace to get down this left-hand side? He can. He's past one. Pulls it back for Paolo Bernardo. This is the opportunity. Bernardo with the shot. He's absolutely fluffed it. Absolutely fluffed it. Went to place it in the top corner and he's got it all wrong. And this is going to be quite a disappointing result, really, at the end of the day. A draw here. This was possibly the winnable game that we had in this Europa League phase. Gunnarsson's picked up the Man of the Match award. He's only faced 3 shots at his goal. And looking at match stats, yes, a draw is a fair result, probably. I would have liked more, though. I would have liked the win. So what that's done for us in the Europa League is we're still in 29th place. I think we were 28th before. We do still have the opportunity to qualify. Luzern are only 2 points ahead of us. Rapid Vienna and Dinamo Zagreb just another point ahead of them. So we are still within a very real chance. Levski Sofia are up to 3rd, which is absolutely fantastic. The only thing that I would say in terms of us having a chance is the 3 games that we've got left. I don't know much about Zrinski, apologies, but we've got PSV Eindhoven and an FC Copenhagen, which is going to be obviously 2 very, very difficult games. But Zrinski Mostar are a Bosnian side. This is a possible winnable one. Maybe if we have a look at their star player. We've got attribute masking on, haven't we? But looking at the attributes that we can see, he looks reasonable, doesn't he? He looks reasonable. Yeah, so it's going to be quite difficult for us to qualify from this Europa League phase. If we stick the FBet League back in this filter, we're probably going to play through now, guys, till the end of the preliminary phase, which would be Lokomotiv Sofia would be the next time that we're back. Unless we get through in Europe, which is doubtful. It's really, really doubtful. So until then, guys, thank you for watching. As always, please leave me some feedback. Let me know how you think I could be doing anything a little bit better in terms of both the save and the video. Yeah, thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you next time.